Okay, for question number 7, right, what we're gonna do is, before this, for question number 6 and, sorry, question number 5 and 6, you need to manually compile the file one by one when you have a program. When you want to run a program that has multiple files, you need to manually compile it. And then sometimes, if you have like 2 files, 3 files, then it's okay for you to run one by one. But let's say when you are in a situation where your program contains like 100 files. So what you need to do? So what you can use is you can use makefile. So this makefile actually help you to compile the file for you in one time. So let's say from this 100 file that you have, you want to make changes in one file. And then usually if you want to do you want to compile manually, you need to compile it one by one, all 100 files. But by using makefile, what you can do is you can just run make, and then they will find which file that you make changes, and then they're gonna compile that particular file only. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do with our code that we have, which is bounce.c and also powers.c. So we're gonna refer to the codes for bound.c and powers.c. So this is our bounce.c, powers.c. So I believe that you already know what this two .c file do. Okay, first I want to show you the relationship or the dependency for each file here. So this file, bound.c and powers.c, in order for us to run it as a program called bounce, which is the executable file, we need to make sure that we compile it to .o file first, both of them, which is bound.c and then powers.c. We compile to .o file, and then after that the computer will compile these two object file, which is bounce.o and powers.o, into an executable file called bounce, and then they can run. So now, in order to compile bounce.c into bounce.o, we need to see first inside bounce.c what is the file that is dependent, or that is actually depend on, so that we can compile it into bounce.o. So if you look inside our bounce.c, right, so in order to create bounce.o, obviously we must compile bounce.c, and also inside this we have one file which is macros.h, where we include here, we need macros.h in order to compile it into bounce.o. So what happened here later on, even if we compile it in a normal way, if macros.h has actually we made changes on macros.h later on, when we compile, so after we compile, bounce.o also will create a new file. So let's say first you run bound.c, this one without do any changes on bound.c and macros.h, they will compile into bounce.o. But now when you make changes on macros.c, right, so what happened is they're going to compile again, you're going to get a new bounce.o file. So that's why we say that apparently bounce.o depend on bounce.c and also macros.h. Also the same for powers.c, right? Even though it doesn't depend on any file that we included, just like macros.h that is included in bounce.c, it is in order to create a power.o file, we need powers.c. So if powers.c change, or we make any changes inside this .c file, power.o later on when we compile again into .o file, it will be changed into a new file. So that's why we say that it is actually depend on the depend on the file itself. And then after they compile into bounce.o and powers.o, now computer gonna combine or compile these two files into executable file, and you can run it. So that is what we call as dependency. So now in order to create a make file, first thing I need to remember, we have target. You must put target like that. And also you need to have put your dependencies. And now the next line, what we're going to do is we're going to put the rule or the command that we're going to ask the make file to do, or the make to do. So here, in order for you to put the action, right, you go to the next line and then press tab. Okay, that is the syntax. You need to press tab, and then you're going to type the action. Okay, so now before we start to go one by one. First, we need a primary target, where our primary target is our bound here. So we want to execute bounds. So first we have bound, which is our target, where bounds is actually depend on bounds.o and power.o. So bounds.o and powers.o. So when we go to the next line, we need to write the rule or write the command that we need to compile, that we need to write in order to compile it into executable file, which is we need to use the compiler first, which is GCC, since we are compiling a C programming. And then here we need to type the object file name, which is bounds.o, and another one powers.o. And then in order to compile this .o file, we need to type -o, and then we're going to compile it into a file name called bounds. Okay, after that you finish for primary file. Now we're going to do one by one. So how to get bounds.o, how to get powers.o. So here, that is when we need to create target for that. So first we're going to do for bounds.o. Okay, in order to create bound.o, our target currently, so bounds.o need bound.c and macros.h. So here we're going to type bounds.c and macros.h. And then the next one, we go to the next line and press tab. Here you're gonna type, we're gonna type the compiler first. And in order to run, because here we have .c file, right? So in order to run or to compile .c file, we need to have the compiler flag, which is the one that we use, which is -wall -unc -pedantic -w error, and then -g. And then here, since we want to compile .c file, so we need to have -c. And then here we want to run bounds.c, right? So this file, bounds.c. After that, we're done for bounds.o, finish for bounds.o. Later on, when they read the code that is inside makefile, when they see bounds.o, then they're gonna make sure they're gonna understand, or they're gonna see that, oh, your bounds.o actually depend on this file, these two files. And then when they see bounds.o, they're gonna run this or run this command. Okay, so now we're gonna do for the next one, which is powers, where powers actually depend on power.c only. So we're gonna type powers.c, powers.o, colon, and then it is depend on powers.c only. And then the next one, we're gonna write the action rule, which is gcc wall unc -pedantic -w error -g -c, in order to compile powers.c -c powers.c. Okay, now you're done here. So the next one is we can just delete this one, since you already understand what is target and dependency and the action that we need to do. So we're gonna have another one, which is clean, where this clean, basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna delete your .o file later on when you have made changes in your any of this file, right? So they're gonna clean the .o file. So how? First we type clean, and then we're gonna go to the action, which is rm remove -f, which is our folder. And then here you're gonna type your executable file name, which is bounds, and the object file name, which is bounds.o, and also powers.o, like that. Now you're done for this. We're gonna run it. Okay, how to run the makefile? What happened here is, let's say we go to the terminal, right? So in order to run this, you're gonna type make, and then they're going to say like this: currently you have this two file, which is bound.c, and also they're going to say that you already make changes to this two. And now if we run again, make, they're going to say that your bound is up to date, because apparently when you run just now, you actually make a changes in bounds.c and powers.c for the first time. So when they already compile it for you, right? So when you type the command name again, so since you didn't make any changes, so they told you that it is actually up to date. So since it is up to date, now you can compile the program again. So dot slash and then you're gonna run bounds. Then you can enter value. Let's say I put 5, so they're gonna print out what is inside bound.c and also powers.c, which is basically the same as question 6 just now. So let's say we make one changes inside bound.c. Let's say I want to print hello world, let's say. So I'm going to add a new printf function hello world. Then here, okay, put /n. Okay, then I save this and then I type make. Then what happened is they're going to give you this one, which is they told you that apparently your bound C has been made, or someone has made changes on your bound C. So that is what happened. So they told you here bounds.c currently have some changes. So that's why they compile it for you again as a executable program, which is now, since they write this, since they output this message, right, which means now your bound program actually has been your bounds.o and powers.o has been compiled into an executable file, so you can run right now. So gonna be the same here. You can see when they run, right, they include the new command here, which is to print hello world. So that is how you make changes, or you create makefile. So now other than so if you look like this, it's not easy to memorize all of the command here, right? So what you can do is you use quotes. So when you use quote, remember we have a variable to represent a command, so we can use quotes. So here I'm going to use cc in order to represent the command gcc here. So instead of use gcc, I will use cc, which is, if in order for you to use it, the word or the variable name cc, you can put dollar sign, open bracket, then type cc, which is big letter, and then here also the same, cc, sorry, okay, like this. So other than cc, you also can, since this the command here is too long, right, starting from -wall until -c, which is the compiler flag, you can compile it in, you can put it in one constant also, which here I'm going to use C flags to represent the compiler flags. So I'm going to use this and then paste here. So instead of typing all of the code, all of the syntax, or sorry, for the command, so I will just use the variable, the quote here, so which is I will type flags, C flag. Okay, also the same for this one. The next one, which is for powers.o, right? I'm gonna use like this. Okay, and then the next one also, if you see, you have bounds.o, powers.o, bounds.o, powers.o, bounds.o, powers.o. So I can put it in another quotes, which is I'm gonna use objs text bounds.o and powers.o. So I'm going to use object here. So I'm going to put here also, and then here also. Okay, and then another one we have here, if you look, we also have bounce, and also here we have bounce. So we can combine it or put another using another constant, which is, and since it is a name for executable file that we can run just now, so I'm going to type as @z, represent the executable file name, which is inside here, equal to bounce, like this, and then this word I'm going to replace like this. So copy, and going to place here, then I'm going to replace at the last part also, like this. Yeah. Okay, so this is how we do it. So we're going to try run this first, check whether there is some error or not. So how to run this? Also the same, we're going to use make. Okay, now they told you that bounce is up to date. So let's say we make changes in this. We're gonna print f in powers.c. I hello, I make changes here. In powers.c. Hope it will be working. Okay, now we're gonna try to run make again. So by type make, then here they told you that they print out this command, right, which is powers.c. So this powers.c means that your powers.c someone has made changes on powers.c, and then after that they're going to compile again. So that's why they print out this. So apparently after they compile powers.c, so the bound.o power and powers.o bounce.o and also powers.o object file is already compiled into an executable file, which is called as bound. So which means it's been compiled already, done compile. So now we can run. So and here let it print, hello, I made changes in powers.c2c. This is actually what happened when we print out here, because y.c2, because I didn't put a space here. So if I put space, then I'm gonna show you the value of 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32, and like this. Okay, so I hope you can understand you can understand on how to solve this question. If you have anything to ask, then you can ask me after this. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Bye.